Greetings and salutations, I am Nat Christiana, and today I will be reviewing Azul. Azul is a 2 to 4 player game released in 2017, designed by Michael Kiesling and published by Next Move. It is a tile drafting abstract game, and I know that you're thinking, Nat, why are you doing a review of Azul? We don't need it. It's been done. So many people have talked about this game. So many people love this game. Why are you doing this now in 2019? I don't know. I just bought the game 2 weeks ago and I got really excited about it and wanted to talk about it, so here we are. So I'm going to show you how it plays in case you don't already know, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. Okay, here I have the game set up for 3 players. If you're doing 4, you'd have 2 more of these circles out. The manual calls them factory displays, but that's a weird name for an abstract game, so I will be calling them circles. So on your turn, you're going to be choosing one of the color tiles from one of these spots, and whichever color you pick, you have to take all the tiles matching that color. For example, if I wanted a yellow one, I'd be taking all 3 of these yellows, but if I just wanted the blue, then I would just take the single blue one. Any tiles that you don't take from the circle then go to the middle, where they can then be picked from that spot, and the first person that does it also gets the tile for being the first player. Now, when you take the tiles, you have to choose one of these rows to put them in. You can't put them in different rows. They all have to be in the same one, and you're going to try to do this as efficiently as possible. So like in this example, I'd be putting these 3 here in my 3 row. Now, assuming that 2 other people are also taking these tiles and doing things to it, but I'm just going to ignore that and say that's back to my turn again, and maybe this time I decide to take these 3 red tiles. Since my 3 spot is already taken, I'm going to put these here instead. This row isn't complete. I still need to get one more able to do that. So for another example, say that I have this 1 red tile here or there, but pretending that they're not there and I have to complete this red one, I end up taking these 2 instead. So I'm able to complete the row, but now I'm left with this one. Because I can't just put it there, it has to drop down here, and it's going to cost me 1 victory point at the end of the round. Okay, so moving ahead to the end of the round, all the tiles have been selected. I filled up my board as best as I could with them. Now it goes on to the scoring. When you score the tiles, any row that is complete, you get to move one over to its spot. Once that spot has already been filled, you can't put tiles of that color in that row anymore. It's because then you wouldn't be able to move them over, so that makes sense. So when you do the scoring, you score it as soon as you move it over. So when I move this tile over, I score it immediately. There's nothing adjacent to it, so it's only worth 1 victory point. Then I'm going to score this red one, moving this one off my board to the side. Now these 2 are adjacent to each other, so this one is worth itself, and any adjacent ones to it, so this is worth 2 victory points. Now over to the yellow. That one was completed, so I get to move it over, get rid of those. Now I have 3 connected to each other. Bring me up to 6 points. The red completes as well, however, there's nothing next to it, so that's just worth 1 point. These move off to the side. And these blue ones, I was not able to complete the row, so those stay there into the next round. I ended up getting a negative victory point because of the tile that I took earlier that I didn't have a space for, and I got 1 negative point because I was the first one to take tiles from the center. So I subtract those 2, and I ended up getting 5 points on my first round. So the game is just going to keep going like this. You refill all the circles with the tiles. If you run out of tiles in the bag, then you're just going to take all the discarded ones, put them in the bag, keep drawing. The game will end when 1 player is able to complete a row. Typically this happens in the 5th round, maybe the 6th round, something like that. Once that happens, you do complete that round, you do the scoring for that round, and then you go on to do the final bonus scores. You get 2 points for every completed row that you have, 7 points for every completed column that you have, and then 10 points for every color that you have all 5 tiles out for it. That is pretty much how you play the game. It is, like I said, it's fairly easy. It doesn't take a long time to teach it to people. It's just the strategy itself that takes a little bit of time to learn, but I'll talk about that more in my final thoughts. I know why I waited so long to get Azul. It is an award-winning abstract game that they sell at Target, which is not typically what I go for with my board games. But it was on sale a couple weeks ago. I decided to finally give it a try, and you know what happened? I loved it. Of course I did. It's a great game. It deserves all the awards, and it deserves to be sold at Target so that people can get it. It is a beautiful game. It's so easy to teach people. But in order to, I don't want to say master the game, but you really, from game to game, are going to improve so much on those first few games as you like really are able to like put the pieces together about what you need to be doing. My first game, I got like 30 or 40 points, and I'm like looking at this board, and I'm like, why is there 100 points on here? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Poor design, Michael Kiesling. But then, my sixth game, I got 99 points, and I was like, good job, Michael Kiesling, I get it. And that kind of improvement that comes so quickly can be so satisfying that, you know, it seemed like such a huge feat in order to be able to, you know, complete a vertical column or to get 5 of one color out. But then just a few games later, you're pulling these things off and you feel great about it. The games that I played, we weren't playing aggressively. We were trying to make sure that no one was getting stuck with a bunch of tiles that they couldn't use. And I guess that contributed to me getting a high score. I could see this game going very differently if you're playing with people who are, you know, intentionally trying to screw you over. I don't think that that's really the spirit of the game, although I suppose that if you wanted to do that, you could. And that also makes me wonder, I mean, I had some great games with it, but I also don't know how long I would be playing a game like this. I feel like strategy-wise, there's like a very low ceiling as to what you can do with this game, and I could be wrong. I could be playing this game in 2 years with hundreds of games under my belt and still learning new things about it. But right now, as much as I enjoyed the games that I played, and I'm excited to show new people because I know that they'll have the same experience as me of just that very quick learning of the game and new strategies and stuff like that. I want everyone to experience that, but I don't know how much of an experience there is beyond that. Maybe this game will just work for some people to play for years. Maybe they just had kind of a good early shot. I don't know. So I think that everyone should try this game and have the same experience that I did. I mean, for a game that typically sells for like $20, you're definitely going to get a few games out of it. Enough that I think makes it worth it to get for such, you know, a good price. So I recommend it, but also would say I don't know for how long. It's certainly not a game that's going to like get expansion packs, I don't think. Doesn't feel like that kind of game. But as it is right now, it is a very good small little game that I think you can bust out every once in a while, and you forgot how exactly it works, and so you play one game and you go, all right, I remember it now, I can do it better, and then you play a second game and you kill it again. I feel like that's kind of like the vibe that this game has given me so far. So I recommend it. You should definitely try it. And we'll see what kind of future it has. This might be something to review again in 2 or 3 years and see how I still feel about it. But as for now, I like Azul. Good job, Michael Kiesling. So thank you so much for watching the review. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, all that jazz. And stay tuned for more reviews from me, Nat. Bye.